My name is Valentin, and I'm the co-founder of Cortea. At Cortea, we automate audits for auditors. You can think of How AI or Legora for auditors. And today, I'm going to tell you why we do it, how we do it, and how auditing will change in the next 3 to 5 years. This is Philip, my co-founder. You have to know, Philip is a former auditor. And a year ago, we were catching up about how life was and how work was. And his work was a massive audit he was going through. And this audit was ordered by BaFin, so the biggest regulator in Germany. So you can imagine this was a rather lengthy and painful audit. And Philip told me about how painful it is. So I was asking him, hey, Philip, what are the details actually? Yeah? And for every one of you who went through an audit, you probably know what it means. For everyone else, how does an audit go? So first, the auditor asks you, OK, that's the framework you're going to be audited on, maybe an IT audit, maybe a financial audit. Then they ask you to please send all the documents, files, documentation, ledgers, etc. So basically, a lot of data, right? And then after a couple of weeks, they come back, and they maybe have a couple of follow-up questions, and then the ping pong starts. And all of this actually takes 2 to 3 months and costs more than 90K. Right? So you'd probably already be wondering, OK, this sounds like a prime problem for AI. Right? But back then, basically, Philip and me were like, OK, why is it actually so painful? So the auditor Philip was working with last year, so he was on the other side, he was getting audited, was Frank. And he actually asked Frank, hey, please show me the details of what you do. What is it actually? Why does it take so long? So Frank, the poor guy, a highly educated CPA in Germany, was showing Philip this Excel file. And this Excel file had hundreds of requirements, right? So it had hundreds of rows. And at the same time, the auditor had hundreds or dozens of files to check. So what Frank did all day was opening files, checking, did they fulfill the requirements, going to the Excel, saying, yes, it's passed. Yeah, so this is why it was actually so painful. And when we got as deep as that, we knew instantly, OK, something needs to change. Because at the same time, Frank was super stressed. You have to know that there's a huge skilled labor shortage in auditing. And it's as bad that 1/3 of all auditors will retire in the next 5 to 7 years. So after this, we basically did there was no Lovable, so we did a Miro session and built our product on Miro. And we started LinkedIn cold outreach, right? Just to get to know more auditors, understand, does everyone has the same problems? And the interesting piece was all the auditors wanted to talk to us, and all of them had variations of this problem, right? So we did the next thing, and we said, hey, let's actually not just do interviews, let's do sales calls. So we started mock sales with this exact slide. And then what happened is the first auditor said yes, yeah? And that was Niklas. He's a CPA. And he was exactly going through this one audit, and he said, yes, I want to have that, ideally tomorrow. Can you please build it for me? So we actually went by train through a small town in Germany, and we built the first product with him. And out of this, actually, we developed a full AI toolbox with all kinds of agentic solutions for auditors, solving different types of audits. And what's important for auditors, actually, and for AI in audit is that you have auditor-grade results. It means 98% reliable, always reproducible, and always traceable. And for those of you who've worked with LLMs, or even just ChatGPT, so everyone, you know how not easy it is to make AI results reproducible. So we had to solve a pretty tough challenge. But by now it works. And auditors are always skeptical people. They always want to see how it works. So today I also brought a demo. I wanted to do a live demo, but I was told it's safer to do a recording, and I think Cloudflare showed us why. So let me guide you through it, right? So it's a platform where the auditor can just log in and create a new engagement, right? We're going to do today a Slush IT audit. And IT audits are usually policies, documents, etc. You can select the language, you can select the framework. We have all kinds of audit frameworks in here. This is DORA. This is an IT audit framework for financial institutions. So every bank needs to be audited like that. And then basically, you as an auditor, you would request those files. And once you receive them, you would just dump everything into the tool, right? And what the AI does next is, it actually starts to classify, process, and make sense of all those documents, right? It's the same thing the auditor would do, but the auditor would take like 2 to 3 days just for sorting. And then you see, like, it takes roughly 10 minutes to go through the full pipeline. And the documents in an IT audit are policy documents, like this one. So it's text, it's tables, it's screenshots, all of that. So once the AI is done, we see that it has classified everything, it's sorted everything, like it's very auditor specific. It's not a multi-purpose AI. And it sorted it to the right topics. And the next thing the AI does is actually, it goes through this full checklist, right? Like those hundreds of checks, it automatically checks. And let me show you here. So one of the checks, for example, is identity and access management policy. Does the company have one? It's a very basic one. So the auditor can always see what happened here. And you see the AI did all the work. Yeah, it found out that there is one. You see the document which was referenced, and you see reasoning. Same here. This is like unique user account assignment, account shared or unique. You also see here a legal reference, so the AI has all the context, right? And again, you see there's a reasoning for the auditor to understand. And the AI does this for all 1,200 checks in this case, and it just takes 2 hours, really, to go through everything. And because auditors are always skeptical and they want traceability, of course, you can drill down. Yeah, you can see exactly what happened. In this case, it found the right location for the unique user accounts, and it created highlights for it. So that the auditor can quickly check, say, OK, I've checked this, I've reviewed this, and then it's saved, and they can share it with the client. And this basically saves 3 to 4 weeks of time for the auditor in just 2 hours. This is insane. Yeah, like every auditor who sees this, they're like, OK, wow, this changes my life. And up until now, like since we started, we've built more than 20 agents which automate checklists, other types of audits, invoice audits. So it's a real full, rich toolbox. We've saved thousands of hours of manual work and gave this back to our auditors, basically. And the most important thing is we made dozens of auditors smile, right? Because auditors in busy season especially, it's a very tough job. And what made me smile is that we actually made sure to assemble a top-notch team of engineers and auditors. So we have also auditors in-house who work on audit problems every single day. Fun fact, engineers love to work on auditing problems because they're not 100% deterministic, but follow a structure. And for every engineer, it's clear, OK, this can be automated. Like, let me try to solve this, right? So it's a great energy. We love it. And if you still remember Niklas, yeah, like our first CPA, the first customer, this is him again. After a couple months being our customer and actually giving us a bit of feedback, he said, OK, this is too big to pass. I need to do this. I want to join you guys. And it's a pretty big thing for auditors to join a startup. Yeah, like those are the risk-averse guys who check everything, who then joins a who know what happens company, right? So we're super happy about that. And our vision is big, right? We want to change auditing for the next generation of auditors. Because as said, there will be a third less people with the same workload. And you can only solve this with the power of AI. We're not fundraising right now, but we are very open for any type of role to join us right now. So hit me up. Also, if you have auditor friends who are suffering, also hit me up. I can help. Thank you very much.